feature tested review of the iPhone X. For the iPhone X, not X, Apple decided to revamp the iPhone into something that feels much more new than previous models. However, it comes with a hefty price, so it's even more important to consider whether or not this phone delivers enough value for you. Two important factors of the new iPhone are the size and the weight. Okay, there's a height of 5.65 inches or 143.6 millimeters. The width is 2.79 inches or 70.9 millimeters. The height and the width is in between the Plus and the regular models of the two previous iPhones. This is a great middle ground and can still fit into your pocket just fine. The depth is 3.0 inches or 7.7 millimeters, which is slightly more than the previous versions. Weight is a very important factor to consider for any adventure. The weight of the 10 is 6.14 ounces or 174 grams. This is heavier than the 7 and 8, but lighter than both the 7 Plus and the 8 Plus. Again, Apple chose an excellent middle ground with this model. The processor is an A11 Bionic chip with a 64-bit architecture. The storage is available in 64 or 256 gigabytes. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do with your new iPhone is to get a case. It's basically a glass phone. This new iPhone is still very thin, which is great, but it's also very slippery. You'll want more protection for any kind of adventures. This is the case that I ended up with. Now what you can expect for the features of this new iPhone. You can access the camera and the flashlight by pressing on the icons for about 2 seconds from the lock screen. This is great for any activity when you need a fast light or you need to quickly catch something on camera. Face ID is new on the 10. It's quick and easy to set up. It's the same as Touch ID, just with your face. Face data is supposedly only stored on your phone and not backed up with Apple. Face ID is used with downloading apps, purchases, and Apple Pay too. The display is Super Retina HD and is now 5.8 inches diagonally and 1125 by 2436 pixels. Even though the size of the phone is smaller than the previous Plus models, the display is bigger. Apple took the display right to the edge with this phone. The catch with the display being bigger and going right to the edge is the notch. However, there's no good way around this. And with this phone, there's a lot of new gestures. The first thing that you'll notice is there's no home button, so you'll need to swipe up. All you have to do is look up and swipe in one motion. However, it's not just one motion. It'd be nice if you just look up and it opens. To switch between apps, swipe up and hold or swipe up and left. However, they changed how you close apps. You'll need to hold the screen and then a close icon appears at the top, which you'll then need to click to close. The control center is located in the top right, which you'll need to swipe down and left to open. Thanks to the notch, this is now the only place to view the battery percentage. Swipe down to see notifications. Swipe right to open widgets. To launch Siri, say, "Hey Siri." Or you can click and hold the side button. Although Siri accidentally turns on a lot for me. A new feature in the Messages app is Animojis. There are several to choose from, and these are just more to show off the power of the camera update. These can also be stickers by clicking and dragging. Now for the camera. Let's start with the rear camera. The most obvious change with the rear camera is it's vertical now. It's a dual lens 12 megapixel sensor array, and it's the same as the iPhone 8 Plus. We're in the art district of Los Angeles now, and I'm shooting with the rear camera. Check it out. Also the same as the wide lens, which is f1.8 with optical image stabilization. It also has a telephoto lens of an f2.4 aperture as opposed to the f2.8 with the iPhone 8 Plus. Only this latest iPhone has optical image stabilization on the telephoto lens. Now for the front-facing camera. Okay, we're in downtown. We just took the train down here and I'm testing out the phone. This is the selfie mode and you can see it's a really nice shot. The front-facing camera has a lot more packed into it. It's a 7 megapixel camera, which is the same as the 8 Plus. However, only the 10 has a setup called TrueDepth camera with infrared sensors and light projectors capable of perceiving depth. Portrait mode is now available on the 10 with either the front or the rear camera. There are 5 different lighting effects, and you can also edit these after. 2 things to be concerned with on any adventure is dust and water. The iPhone X has an IP67 rating, which means it has complete protection against ingress of dust. It's also water resistant for 30 minutes in 1 meter or 3.3 feet of water. However, it's recommended to get a water housing if you plan to use your phone underwater. To power off, hold the right button with either volume button and swipe right. Apple went all out with the iPhone X. So back to my question, is it worth it? If you're like me and had a model before the 7, then I think the X is well worth the price. Just the camera alone gets you a lot closer to that value. If you have a 7 or 8, then it's a lot harder decision. The competition is high with the other phones, and in the future it'll be hard to justify paying so much if Apple can't stay ahead. The simplicity of the new design is really intuitive and very refreshing. Overall, the size is great for this phone. You get a lot more real estate on the screen. Gestures, really quickly adjust to them. There are some things that bug me. It's very fragile. I don't know if you need glass on both sides of the phone. Closing apps bugs me a little bit, but overall it's a great phone and probably one of the best smartphones out there. The iPhone X was the right phone for me. Comment below and tell me if it's the right phone for you. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, click the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Peace.